With March 2026, somewhere in the Philippine Sea, analysts tracking satellite data noticed something unusual. A large naval ship was moving at uniquely high speed, escorted by two destroyers, and it clearly wasn't following a routine patrol route.
This wasn't a destroyer or a massive supercarrier either. It was the USS Tripoli, and it was moving fast toward the Middle East, specifically toward the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most critical and dangerous choke points in the world. Now, at first, this might not sound that shocking, but the situation in that region right now is extremely tense. The United States is already deep into a large-scale conflict, with Operation Epic Fury targeting thousands of Iranian military assets. Air bases, missile systems, and even critical economic infrastructure like Kharg Island have been heavily bombed. From the air, the U.S. and its allies have near total dominance. But here's the problem. Despite all that firepower, the Strait of Hormuz is still effectively shut down. And the reason is actually pretty simple. You don't need a full Navy or Air Force to block a narrow waterway like this. Even a single naval mine, one hidden missile launcher, or a small drone threat is enough to scare off commercial shipping. Insurance companies refuse coverage, shipping companies pull back, and suddenly global oil flow is disrupted. So even with overwhelming military power, the situation on the ground, or more accurately, on the water, is still unstable. So, the obvious question is, why not send more supercarriers? The U.S. already has some of the most powerful naval assets in the region. But instead of sending another $13 billion carrier into a risky, shallow, and potentially mined area, they deployed the USS Tripoli. And that decision is actually very strategic. When the Tripoli was designed, it faced a lot of criticism because it lacked a traditional well deck, which is normally used to launch boats, tanks, and heavy equipment for amphibious assaults. People argued that it couldn't perform its primary role properly. But what seemed like a flaw turned into a major advantage. By removing the well deck, the ship gained more internal space, expanded its aviation capabilities, and significantly increased its fuel capacity. Instead of focusing on sea-based landings, it became optimized for air operations. This is where the concept of a lightning carrier comes in. The Tripoli can carry and operate around 20 F-35B stealth fighter jets. While that's less than a supercarrier, the real advantage is positioning. Unlike larger carriers that need to stay farther away for safety, the Tripoli can operate much closer to the conflict zone, and that changes the entire equation. Think about it like this. A jet launched from a distant carrier might take over an hour to reach the Strait of Hormuz, burning a lot of fuel along the way and limiting how long it can stay in the area. But from the Tripoli, jets can reach the same location in just 10 to 15 minutes. That means more time on station, faster response times, and continuous air coverage instead of short, limited patrol windows. In a place like Hormuz, that constant presence is critical. But air power alone isn't enough. The real challenge comes from fortified islands like Abu Musa and the Tongues, which Iran has turned into heavily defended positions with missile systems and radar installations. These locations sit right inside the shipping routes, making them a serious threat. Traditionally, clearing these would require sending troops by sea, but that would mean navigating through mine-filled waters. Instead, the Tripoli allows for vertical assault. Marines can be deployed directly by helicopters and ospreys, bypassing naval mines and coastal defenses entirely. They can land straight onto these islands, neutralize key targets, gather intelligence, and leave quickly. This kind of operation is fast, precise, and avoids many of the traditional risks of amphibious warfare. Beyond that, this deployment introduces a broader strategy known as expeditionary advanced base operations. Instead of relying only on ships, small marine units can establish temporary positions on nearby islands or coastlines. From these locations, they can deploy anti-ship missiles, radar systems, and rocket launchers, effectively creating control zones over critical areas. This shifts the battlefield completely, because now the threat doesn't just come from the sea or air, it comes from the ground as well. So even though the US has already achieved significant success from the air, that alone isn't enough to secure a choke point like the Strait of Hormuz. What matters is presence, control, and the ability to respond instantly to threats. And that's exactly what the USS Tripoli brings to the table. In the end, the ship that was once criticized as a design mistake is now playing a key role in one of the most complex military situations in the world. It's not about being the biggest or most powerful platform, but about being in the right place at the right time with the right capabilities. And right now, that's exactly what makes the Tripoli so important.